What's the Not Your Finest Hour podcast? What is that all? I mean, I've heard stories.
Not Our Finest Hour podcast. I'll have to check out one of these days when I get a minute to listen to it. I've been told it's not for everyone. Just the general reviews I hear on it. It has been getting really good reviews.
And I've never personally listened to it, but I have heard it's not for everyone.
I listened to the Not Our Finest Hour podcast. Just great podcast. I've really enjoyed that.
I'm not endorsing anything. From what Caleb told me, he said, don't endorse anything unless you listen to it first.
I do once in a while listen in, and it's a lot of fun. But I do got to be careful. It is not for everyone.
Caleb Allman is always dropping nugs that it's one of the most value-added shows out there.
Of course, through all the Not Our Finest Hour, you guys poking fun at so much different stuff is absolutely killer.
I don't feel any oppression tonight. In fact, I feel very free. Not Our Finest Hour podcast. Thanks for being here.
I'm Interlock Ian, and I wouldn't fucking miss a Not Our Finest Hour podcast for nothing.
Welcome to the beginning of the podcast on literally day one of 2026. Quite literally day one of 2026. Today Chad started his new what is it called, Chad? Do you have a specific name for it?
It's a working title. I think we're going to call it a Landscape Daddy Diddy.
A Landscape Daddy Diddy. I like that.
So,
Where did this come from? I didn't even get any prompting that this was going on.
I didn't know until this morning when I woke up.
Wow. So you're going to do one a day?
Well, I'm going to try and do one a day. Just a little bit of advice or personal reflection or something like that.
I love it.
One a day for the whole year. We'll see how that goes.
I also think that I'm going to try to do more. I posted a whole bunch of videos on my stories from the past.
Yeah.
Like my account goes back to 2013. There's 5,000 posts on it almost. Like it goes way back. And I was watching that stuff and I was like, man, this account used to be pretty funny. Like there used to be some funny ass shit on this account. So I'm gonna try to be more active, I guess, and maybe do some more stuff like you do, or I don't know, or like just some different engagement things. I think that I've gotten lazy over the last 2 years. I do a lot of lazy engagement things. So I'm gonna try to. I have a whole bunch of I haven't done any kind of New Year's resolutions in 20 years, maybe longer, maybe ever. I've never done it.
Nothing to improve.
I just think I figured I wouldn't follow through with it, so why the fuck bother? I want to be brutally honest about myself. Yeah. So so Chad's video today was talking about how you need to be young when you start your business. And on his story, he made a direct reference to me saying, well, Paper King's going to say something like, I started at 49, look at me. And Chad pointed out I'm the exception, not the fucking rule, and people should never try to emulate anything I'm doing, which I appreciate, Chad, because I agree with you.
Same.
And I would say this. I would say that I agree with your point that you should start your business as young as possible if that's one of your goals. I think it's a very good point. I think that one of the points you didn't hit on was that when you were talking about being young and not having responsibilities and being able to work long hours, which I think are things that are very true. I also think that the greatest advantage of starting when you're young is there's a give on mistakes.
By who? The client?
No, by you.
Yeah.
You're telling me when you started your business with your $2,000 truck and your wheelbarrow, which I think is a great story, and you were young. When you made a mistake then, it was just affected you.
Well, you don't have very far to fall, right?
And if you made a mistake and there was no food on the table for you because you fucked up, that's okay, because you fucked up. I think that I think you can start a business anytime. I think that if you don't have a lot of experience running a business, that starting a business young is the best way to go, because you will fuck up and you will fuck up stuff. And when you're young, you have so much more opportunity for non-painful recovery.
Yeah, you're much more forgiving, or life is much more forgiving whenever you're at the bottom.
Yeah. And I think too, even in your, I think that you could argue that when you're younger like that, you're mentally more resilient because there's not like, holy fuck, I just fucked up 20 people's lives, or I fucked up my kids' lives, or, your mental resilience is, because when I watched your video, I started thinking about it a lot because obviously in the story you brought me up. You didn't bring me up in the video. Thank you.
I wanted to get ahead of the problem because I knew you were going to have something to say. I know you're going to have some grief with the thing, so I got to let PK know that I already know that he's going to start shit.
I think that I've agreed with you so far.
Yeah,
I liked your
but
point.
here's the thing. In a minute, I said, start your business young and all this stuff. But as soon as the camera stops rolling, there's still other things to be said, right? Like that's not the end of the thought. That's just what got captured.
That's what
There.
this podcast is for. Now you can expand upon
That's
it.
why I was discussing it, to expand it, because I think the original thought is good.
But how young would you say is a good time to start your business? Because both of you guys started out working for somebody before you actually went off and started your business.
Well,
So is it a mix between young and experienced too?
this is in theory the third. Like, I already had a business I built up to over $1 million in sales in 2007, which back then that was a lot of fucking money. Like, doing $2,500 front fucking walkways to get to 1,700,000 or over 1 million was a fucking lot of work. So like, I don't know, like, I guess if you really, really, really want to own your own business, then starting as early as you can is probably the best idea. I don't know. Like, I think I benefited from working for other people too.
Well,
With the
of course, you absolutely have to know what you're doing
Hmm.
in the trades, right? We're not saying start a hardscape business at 16 years old when you have no hardscape experience. Like then you have to work for somebody. Understood. But you don't have to work for somebody for 20 years. You get 4 or 5 seasons or whatever, and then if you have learned enough, that's good enough to and it doesn't mean you have to stop learning after 4 or 5 years, right? There's online courses and all this shit that you can take and watching other people do it and like
I think
but
that one of the things too about starting younger is, like, if you start a business when you're younger and when you're um single, you made the point, it gives you more hours to work, it gives you more hours. And I think that that's very true. I think that was a great point. I think another point, like you said, when the camera goes off, that you could add to that is that when you meet a significant other person and you already own the business, when they meet you, they will have an understanding of the scope and scale of time that it takes. Whereas if you're already with someone and you start a business, speaking from perhaps maybe a personal experience, they don't they will not everybody. I don't think there's a whitewash for everybody, but like, there is a chance there that that person will struggle with the level of commitment that it takes to run your own business and the level of time. Whereas if you meet the person when you're already involved in the business, I think there's a greater chance of success in that relationship maybe than there is if you start afterwards, because the level of, I think that one of the reasons that, and Kelly and I were actually just talking about this because we went to Casino Rama for the night for New Year's. And we were just shooting the shit while we were having dinner. And I, I think that one of the advantages of her being so heavily involved in our business is that she understands. Like, we obviously started the business after our relationship, but because she's involved in the business, she understands that epic level of stuff that has to happen in a small business, you know. But I think starting young gives you maybe a better shot at a successful relationship.
I think whenever so as you're building your business, you're changing yourself too, right? Like starting NDL changed me more than a lot of stuff that happened in my past, or any more than any university or any other course that I took or whatever. Growing NDL changed me as a person. So if someone comes in and meets you after that, it's nice because they see the new you, or the business owner you, and not this weird monster in between you as an employee and you trying to run your own show where you're all fucked up before you really hit your stride and make it work.
Yeah. I so I we're talking about like I haven't had like New Year's resolutions because I think it's epically hard to change who you are. It's, at 52, going on 53, I think that my experience in life is it's epically hard to change who you are on a permanent level. Like I did really good with the whole keto diet thing for like 18 months, and then I just fell off a hard fucking cliff about 6 weeks ago. Um, but one thing I would say about starting your business, like this business started when I was 45, not 49, like Chad pointed out. I do like you adding the years on me though. Thank you. Um, what I would say about it is I'm 52 now, and so this is seventh season we're going into. I think that running the business or starting the business, not running the business, because those are different things, but starting a business, um, and meeting your family commitments at 45. At 52, I have nothing left in the tank. My back is fucked. My hip is fucked. I literally have set a goal to we have an apartment building across the street from us. It's maybe a kilometer, maybe a bit more. I'm literally just trying to walk our dog around the apartment building every day. Because that's how fucked up my body is. And I think my body was fucked up from years of abuse previous to starting my own business. But I think that the starting on the ground floor, like, because, we didn't, we started this business with a pickup truck that I had when I was a sales rep. And I don't think I had a wheelbarrow when I made the business cards and registered the business. So, I think that when you're older, and then adding on top of that, kids in sports and traveling and all the stuff that goes with that, because there was two kids, like Nate was hockey, Paisley was soccer, and there was just, I think if you take those last 7 years, I think that I just hit some kind of a wall recently where I'm just my body is just not functioning anymore at all. So I've also concluded that there's 3 or 4 things in life I am like crazily good at, like criticizing Chad. And the thing that I'm worst at in life, like absolutely the worst thing that I in life that you would, in a relative of important items, is self-care. I am the fucking worst at doctors, chiropractors, exercising, like anything to do with self-care. I am so fucking, so that's one of the things I'm going to try this year too, is try to take, because I've concluded that like me dying or like slowly crumpling into a ball isn't helping all these people that are now not dependent on me, because I'm confident they would all survive whether I was dead or alive. But I think you could argue that they are dependent on me to a level without, I don't think it's like dependent on me to the survival level, but there is a level of dependence of, when you do the math, we have 10 employees and then they have kids and families. And when you start exponentially looking at how many people are really dependent on you to be a functioning person, you decide that you're going to limp around the apartment building every day and said you got to get in motion. So anyways, I think that that's something that's a disadvantage with, compared to starting young. I think when you start off young and then you get to where Chad is now, Like, how old are you?
39.
So Chad's 39, but you've reached a point where you don't like, I'm not saying you're not working when I'm saying this because I think that all of it is work, but you're,
But
there's
when I
no,
was new, I may have disagreed with you. Whenever I was pushing the wheelbarrow, looking at the person that I am today, I would have said that guy doesn't work,
yes,
you know. But beside the point, go ahead.
but your business, when you were young and you started your business was totally dependent on your spine,
Yeah.
but your business isn't totally dependent on your spine at 39.
No, it can still swing a shovel when it needs to there, but
There's days, I think running any landscape construction business under $5 million, there's going to be days when you need to get in the trench and swing.
yeah.
I just think there's going to be days. I think, obviously you get bigger and bigger. You have more and more layers before it reaches you. But to me, like, I think there's just going to be days when you got to get in the trench. The problem for me is that my business was totally dependent on my spine at 45.
Which again, you were
Which
the
already had arguably 30 years of being other people's businesses being dependent on my spine. So, like,
yeah, yeah. So what's the right age to jump ship then on your current gig and start obviously as early as possible, but mid-20s, you figure? That's about where I was whenever I started NDL.
I think I was, yeah, when we started the first time, I was probably mid 20s. And then I worked both for a long time
Hmm.
till we had a full set of tools, and then we went on our own. But we had like dump trailers, tools, like we had everything when we left. But we worked every weekend. Like we worked every weekend from the start of the season till the end of the season. Like we booked those weekends back to back to back to back.
Which
When we
would have been
start,
hard if you had a partner who was not understanding.
yeah, 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 wasn't great.
I've been there and it is not fun when you're with someone who doesn't understand the magnitude of what you're trying to build.
Yeah, and I guess it'd be an argument that I didn't share the vision properly.
But even if you would have shared it, it's not everyone's vision.
No,
You can't get people to see sometimes what you're trying to do.
arguably, and it's not a life for some people because they don't want that life, no matter what the vision is.
And obviously that's a clear or a clear uh roadblock to something working out,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
I mean,
It's a clear. They're opening the gate wide at the parking lot for you. It might roadblock some other stuff, but the sleeping in the parking lot, the gate gets real fucking wide. So yeah, I think that I would say that because I was in this business for so long, like working for someone else, working for myself, even being a sales rep for 18 months or whatever the fuck that shit show was. Um, this version of the business definitely benefited from all of those things. Um, it definitely benefited from all of that stuff. It benefited from connections I made and opportunities I recognized that I hadn't taken advantage. I think that it did. There is some advantages to being 45 when you start.
no, for sure. There's definitely advantages to because whenever you work for someone else, you can learn all that shit without necessarily having so much skin in the game that you will lose everything. Right? You still would take home a paycheck and learn at the same time.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that everyone used to say about me back in the day at Ridge Lake was how much, how, can you even give us an estimate of how much of Dean's money you've wasted proving you were right? Yeah,
Uh,
because that's, and when I started this version of or this business, sometimes that would happen again where I want to do something some way and someone wants to do it another way, and I know they're fucking right, but back in the day I wouldn't have cared whether they were right or not, and I would have vaporized tons of cash just to do it my way to show them I was fucking right. In this version of the business, I'm like, ooh, I don't want to vaporize my own money. Let's put the ego in check and just do it this way.
yeah.
So I think there's some. I think I had a different set of connections with the first business than I have in this business. But I had good connections with. By the time that I was shutting that business down, I had some very good business connections there too. But if I had a choice, I would start at 25 or, younger, I guess.
I remember them not taking me very seriously, even at 25. Like, people thought it was my dad's company, and, oh, aren't you a little young to be doing this? And I mean, there's no way around it. You're just going to go out and try and sell jobs and then do them and then build a portfolio, little fucking, I remember I had a little portfolio of jobs I did and shit. And you're sort of
Book of pictures.
book of pictures. Yeah, because I mean, yeah, what a fucking time. And I'm glad to not have to do that at 39 or hopefully at 45 or whatever it is, you know. I'm glad that's done because now it's in the past, it's done, and we're here.
Yes.
But after so long, you forget what it was like starting out, right? So if I can spend 60 seconds a day reminiscing on the time whenever I started or something that got me to where I am today, maybe that's going to help somebody because it's free and it's not $2,000 a month, right? And you don't have to ask AI about it or fucking call your coach. It's just there. And if you don't want to fucking listen to it, flip through it. What does it matter? But maybe someone will get something out of it.
Yeah. And you're not, you know, not, maybe you should start charging.
Are you going to start a subscription on Instagram?
No, no, I don't think so. I mean, great if you can. I just don't have the traction to make that work.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try this year to take better care of myself. I'm gonna try reading. I used to read a lot, but then I think my eyes got really fucked up because I got old and I stopped reading
From the
because
diabetes.
the unchecked diabetes has definitely had an ill effect on my eyes. So there's that. But now I have glasses that work and I can see. So maybe I'll start reading some books again. Yeah.
I would hope to read less this year.
Ooh. You
There's
taking a
not
book
much
on
that,
vacation? No?
yeah. Yeah, we're leaving in a couple days, right? So I gotta go get some books. I don't know what kind of books I'm gonna get because every time I pick up one of these fucking business books, I just can't retain anything. Like, not saying that they're bad books or whatever, but I don't learn that way. I learn by being in the trenches or trying something and then having it fuck up or trying something and have it go great. But I, I don't know, maybe I'm not reading the right books. So maybe I'll try finance books, but then they're real dry.
Personal finance or business finance?
Um, Personal finance.
You should listen to the Couch Potato, the Canadian Couch Potato or something like that. It's a podcast. It's really good.
Was that the one you're telling me about on the way to Kentucky?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm listening
What?
to it at 3 times the speed.
just 2 times.
So I remember the first vacation I took with my wife, it was our honeymoon. And I had some books and stuff. Pull out a book and start reading. And she turns to me, she's like, "What are you doing?" "I'm reading." Like, "Oh, well, do you want to talk?" Like, "Did you not bring any reading material for this 6 hour flight?" She's like, "No." "So now I'm responsible for your entertainment for 6 fucking hours? You thought you would raw dog this fucking flight with nothing to do for 6 hours?" I'm like, "You want one of my books?" She's like, "No, that's not interesting." Like, fuck me. So now I can't read either. I
And back then,
reminded
you
her.
couldn't afford to pay for the movie.
We weren't poor 6 years ago. No, 7 years ago. Whatever it was.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know what I'm gonna do for reading this time around. I usually on the flight, because there's no internet or whatever, I usually go through all my photos that have stacked up over the past year and delete all the not important photos. That's a better use of my time than a business book, I find. So just because I don't get anything out of it.
It's because I don't. I think I find it interesting that you think that deleting photos out of your phone is more productive than reading business books. I love that.
I don't
I,
know.
I don't. I think that's honest and probably true for you. If you don't learn well reading from a book, then deleting photos and creating memory in your phone is probably a better fucking use of your time.
Last time I tried reading that Mike's book there, The Laws of Power, whatever.
It's not my book. I didn't
I'm
write it.
lucky I remember the title of the book. Never mind anything in it. Like so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's another way for me to learn this stuff.
I used to just read regular books too. Like I don't know that I've ever made it all the way through any business book in my life. I've made it through half a business book lots of times. I don't know if I've ever made it through a whole business book, but I think that just reading regular books, I guess what are they, fiction?
Yeah.
I think reading fiction books where you're creating the picture of what's going on in your mind is still productively making your mind work. I
Yeah.
think that my brain is mush because I don't do anything but I would say that 95% of my brain capacity is going into like tracking trucks and organizing shit and looking for jobs and fucking make sure invoicing is going okay. And like, it's like we
What,
have 15 trucks going out on Saturday. Like finding 15 trucks, wrangling 15 of these people, getting them into the right place. Like, you know, it's,
what about history books?
yeah, history books. I would probably, I agree.
Yeah.
PK, you said that when you got into sales, you read some sales books. Did any come to mind that
I read probably half of them.
oh, really?
I doubt I finished any of those books either.
Okay.
Got a wide stack of unfinished books. I don't, I find that kind of reading dry. You know what? One of my problems with a lot of business books is I'm reading them and I'm like, yeah, that's fucking obvious.
Yeah.
like I don't know. I have started reading a lot of business books in my life. And I don't know, I don't honestly think I'm a particularly bright person, but whenever I read one of these business books, I'm like, I could have written this book. This is just a bunch of like horribly blatantly obvious shit.
That's how I feel about most things that I read. It's like, and I like a maybe whenever you hear someone else's idea and you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and then you assume it was your idea all along. Maybe that's what I'm doing, but I feel like every time I read one of these fucking books, I'm like, this is fucking a moron would have known this.
That's how I fucking feel really similar. I'm like, how the fuck could you not know this?
Yeah.
Like even like, and I'm not, we haven't talked about this in a long time, but when we first started this podcast, we had a lot of conversation about root density. And like, to me, like, is it not fucking obvious that having two houses beside each other is better than having one house here and one house in Etobicoke? Like, we need to write books on that. We need to fucking like have endless panel discussions. We need to like, what the fuck are you talking about? Obviously, it's better if they're close together. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just like, these people are having like fucking panel discussions with 7 root density experts. The fuck are you talking? Like, yeah, get houses that are close together. Like, but it, and I get that someone might be saying, I'm going to teach you how to get houses that are close together. And maybe there's some validity to that. How to market to the house next door where you're already fucking working. I guess there's a lot to learn there. But the concept of not driving far in between places, I don't remember anyone ever needing to teach me that in a book.
Yeah.
Like, I did snow a long time ago for myself. Someone called me and said, hey, I need you to do this property in Ajax. I'd be like, yeah, no, all the other properties in Oshawa, man. I'm not driving all the way to Ajax in the snowstorm. That's fucking stupid. Not enough money. But there was no books then. No one was talking about it online. I just knew that driving 40 minutes somewhere to plow snow when all the other snow is here is a poor idea. But now that's like seminars and seminars and seminars of people. And I'm like, really? If you break down almost every seminar on the planet to do with landscaping, it comes down to charge more than it costs you to do it.
Yeah. But I thought that was obvious.
It's not to a lot of people, man. A lot of people need to read a 500-page book to realize that you need to charge more than it costs you to do it.
But see, and this
You
is
can,
something
you
that
can, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
this is something you can learn on your own too. You don't need the book. Like, it doesn't take you long to learn that you have to charge more than you make.
I
It
think
doesn't
it
have to be
takes,
the first time.
I think it doesn't take you long to learn that. I
I'm
think a lot of
not
people,
exceptionally smart here.
I don't think my IQ is very high. I mean, I might border on Somalian, but but I'm open. I decided to open a daycare too. I think that's definitely what route I'm going to go. Uh, I think that maybe there like people need the 500 pages. Like you saying a simple thing like charge more than it costs you. There's people that can't accept that. And I think that's the vast majority of the fucking population can't accept that. You can. Your brain is open enough to accept charge more than it costs you.
I'll
But
make it even simpler though. Charge as much as you can.
what
I
if
think
that's
I think most people struggle with that it actually costs them though, until they get to the end of the year and realize that they
Yeah,
didn't
but
make any
here's the thing.
money.
I still don't know that. 15 years in, I don't know what it actually cost me. We don't have, what do you call it? Cost accounting, whatever it is. We haven't done that. We rarely do that.
job cost?
Job costing, whatever it is. I still don't know that. I just know we have to charge more.
But there is the majority of the population, and the evidence is clear. Like there's clear evidence that the majority of the population needs 500 pages repeating the same thing over and over and over again in a different word salad to accept the fact that you need to charge more than it costs you. There's a boatload of fucking evidence that that's the case, man. I think one of the reasons I half read these business books is because they start here and they just keep repeating the same fucking thing over and over and over again. And I'm like, I'm just not this fucking stupid. I can't read this whole book. And maybe that's why my business isn't super successful, is because the second half is where the good shit is in these books.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe so. Just don't read the first half and read the second half.
Maybe I'm gonna get one and start halfway through the motherfucker. See if there's better fucking shit on the other side.
So if these people need a 500-page book, I want to do in 365 days what this 500-page book does in 60 minutes a day or 60 seconds a day.
But then you would only pick one theme and repeat it over and over and over again. So tomorrow you need to make another video about starting your business young. You need to make 365 videos in a row about starting your business young with slight variations in every video.
And that's how some people have gotten famous on Instagram or elsewhere, right? They just hit that same fucking point over and over again every day. Like what
On,
did that guy who says work?
on what day do you drop the tip that you break your day into 3 days and you get 3 times more days than everyone else?
I'll push that to the back of the line where I'm running out of stuff to say, and then I'll sneak that one in there. So I don't know.
I don't do well with that kind of like business bookie, even like business podcasts. I struggle with because it's like just people saying really such obvious fucking crap. I think that's why I could never like run a coaching business, because I like if I said to someone, what you need to do is get houses close together, and they didn't know that, my immediate response would be like, you probably shouldn't run your own business. You're probably best to go work for someone and have a more successful life. If I need to tell you that, you shouldn't be doing this at all. If you can't recognize places that are farther apart as bad, and you need to go to a panel discussion on that, you should go work in a factory. Even the level of shit that you watch people go through online in order to run their own business successfully. These are people with have been running their own business for tons of years. And then they get on this train of like training themselves to be, and I'm like, man, like if I had to do everything that they're doing in order to successfully run a business, I'd fucking quit.
What makes it so much harder for some people to run a business than others?
Because there's always people that are naturally good at things. I'm not naturally good
Why
at
couldn't I
fucking.
be good at something that made me real money?
That's the thing.
I'm good
I'm
at
not
this. Of all
great.
the fucking things I could have been good at, why can't I be like a fucking piano player or something? Low impact. You get to sit down,
Musicians have long
listen
careers.
to music. You can play till you're 80,
Yep.
whatever, you know.
But now there's
Well,
AI music, so
Yeah, I suppose AI's taking
careers.
that job.
Yeah.
Why can't I be a Somali daycare worker
owner.
You want to be the
rolling in the
owner.
dough?
Yeah,
You
you
have to
want
be
to be
the
the
owner?
owner. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
One of my favorite videos is from that whole controversy that's recent is there's a guy in a New York Yankees hat. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, and he's got a pair of glasses on. And he's talking about how someone broke into the daycare and
And stole all the files.
stole all the files and documentation. They didn't steal anything of value. They literally just broke into the daycare. But he's giving that video, and in that video, he's wearing a pair of glasses that cost $2,400.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, like, couldn't you have at least like, if you're going to give this huge press conference about how, and in that video, if you watch it, there's a woman standing in the background, and she's holding a big sign that says "Childcare is not racism" or something. It's something to do with racism. And you can tell by the expression on your face because that guy, like the way he's speaking, I'm like, he's the manager of the daycare. I'm like, who met this dude and was like, yeah, I'm leaving my fucking kids here? Like, who met this person and was like, fuck yeah, this is where you leave your kids.
See, that's
Right
what
there.
you do when you start your business too late and you already have kids. You have to leave them at the Somali daycare and go swing a shovel. But
So
if you would have started your business at 25 years old, wouldn't have had to worry about it. No kids to worry about it.
yeah. So I, that whole thing is just wild. That this. Oh, so if you watch that woman's expressions in that video, that's holding the anti-racism sign, you can tell she's not buying what he's saying. She's like rolling her eyes and kind of like looking at the guy because she didn't know what he was. Because someone like the way he's talking in this like weird broken sentences, like it's like he says three words and stops and thinks and says another two words and stops and thinks and says another three words. The woman in the background clearly doesn't believe him. And she's the white liberal woman holding the anti-racism sign. She clearly doesn't believe the guy. Like it's like the dog ate my records. The dog ate my childcare records. Like, and the one said the luring center, the leering
It's a
center.
lyric
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah. And then they're like, well, when the guy came by, we weren't open because our hours are 2 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Wow.
Like, maybe there is childcare open from 2 till 10. I don't know. That could be the case, but
I read somewhere it's illegal for it to be open till 10.
Who
And
takes
then
care of-
it also came
No, there's
out
gotta
that
be
they
shift
closed down
workers
that
that
center. One of the politicians were like, when this first video dropped, they're like, yeah, it's fake. And they were giving a speech about how that daycare was closed down months ago or something like that.
then the next day, the guy,
Yeah.
the manager came on, was like, yeah, we're open from 2 to 10. There's lots of kids.
Jeez.
And then they had a guy in the apartment across the street saying, yeah, I've never seen anyone drop a kid off here. And the day after that video dropped, there was people dropping kids off, and there said learning center on the fucking thing. And it's like, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's makes you wonder how many learning centers there are in Ontario.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, Doug Ford's labor minister did give strippers, a strip club, the financing to train the strippers. That was part of the employment fund or whatever the fuck, that job fund, the $1 billion in the job fund.
Was it a 500-page book?
I don't know. Probably. was probably a 500-page book. Okay. So are you guys trying? Like, I'm gonna try walking the dog. I'm gonna try to go to the gym this year. Uh, well, I have a couple friends that are doing this thing where they're having a dry 2026, which for me is meaningless because I fucking don't drink alcohol anyways. So I'm super committed to that. And they're gonna get fit and get fanatical about their businesses. So I
What
thought,
does it mean to get fanatical about your business?
I don't know. What does it mean to you when someone says it? Do you think you're fanatical about your business?
No. To me, that it sounds silly. Maybe it's not. I don't. The term sounds silly. They
I,
actually told you I want to get fanatical about my business.
I did.
Fanatical seems like something a white liberal woman would do.
What does fanatical mean, Mike?
I
Can
was
you
just
look it
looking
up?
at that. Yeah. Filled with excessive and single-minded zeal.
Yeah, that's a liberal thing. We don't do that around here. We're not getting fanatical about the business.
Yeah, I took it as more as like you're being more focused on it.
Yeah, that would be a much better way to put it, I'd say.
I don't think I've ever been particularly focused or fanatical, for lack of a better word, about this business. I think I've always just kind of let it happen and just let it happen around me. So I thought maybe this year, maybe we'll try to make some things happen instead of not saying I didn't work hard and like I'm obviously, someone needs the other thing someone could write a 500-page book on is answer your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Except my phone has been being hammered by marketers for the past 2 weeks.
marketing what?
I need a marketer.
Oh man. I get like 5 text messages a day. I get phone calls every day.
I get a lot of text messages every day asking me if I need an estimator.
Yeah, I get a lot of that.
Do you need an estimator? Do you need an estimator? No, I don't need a fucking estimator.
Yeah.
I'm leery of hiring an estimator off the road. Like I'm thankful to have Jack. I don't
Those
necessarily.
aren't those aren't estimators off the road. Those are estimators out of Bombay, bro.
Well,
They want you to
where?
send those drawings and then they'll do the takeoffs in Bombay and they'll send them back to you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Or Mogadishu.
So what?
Remember?
What are the repercussions when they do them wrong?
Zero.
Well, fuck you. I
Telling
want
you
to be
that
able to slap you in person. If you fuck something up so bad it cost me tens of thousands of dollars.
you could fly to Mogadishu.
Don't know what the
These
legal
people were trained in the Leering centers.
are. Between 2 and 10.
Trained in the Leering center. I've been getting a lot of that kind of stuff, Mike.
Yeah, I've been getting that for a few years now. Those estimators reaching out, mostly by email though. Marketers all hit up my phone, which is
What are marketers trying to get you to do? Sign up to get your Google listing bumped?
that this last one, we work on a pay per project basis and we don't charge per lead. Would 5 to 10 extra high-end jobs in the next 60 days interest you? Or are they
Yeah.
just
I want you to give me you should respond to that bitch and say, "Yeah, I want to start a high-end. Can you get me a high-end job starting in January?"
yeah.
Like only out of interest sake. They're like, "What are you interested in 5 to 10 high-end jobs?" Yeah, you're fucking right. I need them to start right now.
This past year, because marketers are always trying to change up their tactics, I was getting text messages or emails of them reaching out as if they were a client.
Oh,
So
that would
because
drive me nuts.
yeah, it's
Like
a
that
pain.
would fucking burn my arse.
Yeah.
That's not the way you want to start any fucking relationship.
Who does that
Especially when
work
you know
on?
you're
That's what
not.
you got to ask yourself.
I know.
Does that kind of marketing ploy work on the same people who don't know that the distance between two properties is important?
It might work on somebody desperate.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a guy once, he runs this magazine, like a Long Sue magazine, and he puts like a family on the cover of the fucking magazine every month. And like a lot of people I know have been on the cover of this magazine. And he was trying to sell me like advertising space in the magazine. And he called me and he's like, "Oh, I'm looking to have some landscaping done." And then actually, and then he went off on the fucking magazine. I'm like, "You fucking piece of shit, never call me again." That's the sleaziest fucking thing you could do. Like, not interested, dude.
So he was going to give you some landscaping in exchange. I had an
No,
offer.
he wasn't, he had no landscaping to do, but he
Mm,
wanted to get his foot in the door by talking about what I do and having me over to give him a free fucking estimate so that he could sell advertising to me in person while I was there.
that's similar to what's going on with Mike.
What a fucking loser. Don't have time for that in my life.
I went to see a real estate agent once that does like a publishes a magazine twice a year for a very certain area of Toronto. It's in the beaches in Toronto. And that magazine only circulates in the beaches. And it's him trying to get more clients for his real estate business. But he was like, if you do this job for me, I'll give you a full page spread in my magazine and that will pay you back tenfold. It's like, yeah, if this job was like 500 bucks, I wouldn't do that. But this job is like 30 grand.
Wow.
You're
And you
grossly overestimating your magazine's value to me. Like grossly overestimating it. I did have people call me from people started calling me from like those golf clubs. Hey, I'm calling you from such and such golf club, and we have a bag that we give to every single person, and we want to display your business on our bag or whatever. Like that kind of shit. People call me about that kind of shit a lot recently.
yeah.
Mm.
No.
Like I'm fucking good.
You know what I get a lot of? And I mean, I guess you can't fault people, but they want me to sponsor their kids' fucking hockey or soccer or
Oh, yeah.
something like this. Like I am the fucking key to their child advancing somehow in sports. And I get it, like sports are expensive for kids and all this shit. But there's only so much NDL money that I can allocate to sponsoring kids in sports a year. And it seems like fucking 50 people come out of the woodwork, haven't spoken to them in fucking years. Please, my fuck me, man. Like, hey, and you can say yes to one or two, but you can't say yes to 50 kids.
I we generally only sponsor girls sports because they have a lot more trouble raising sponsorship money than male sports. Um, and we've sponsored Cody's daughter's ringette team a couple times, but try to keep it focused on women and or female gender sports. And I think it's mostly been Cody that's we've sponsored.
Yeah, they're fine. She's a member of paper
She
team,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Like that. So
Yeah.
that's if one of my workers came looking for money for something like that, different story. But whenever
Yes.
your fucking second cousin, whose kid is now in, I don't know, some
Curling league.
curling league, whatever it is, you haven't talked to them for years and they come with their hands out for money.
Yeah, no, I don't do that.
Come on. Like, who the fuck do you think? Just because I have a business and I'm doing all right doesn't mean I have money to throw around.
Well, I think that with anything though, what's the benefit back?
I don't even know if I got a fucking thank you half the time from the kid.
How much are these sponsorships?
$1,000, $500, $1,000, $1,500,
What do you get from them?
zero. Goose egg.
So
Thank you very much. Maybe from the parent.
Who was that guy that came to your shop to try to pitch you on like a business network something? Do you remember that story that you talked about?
Business network.
Yeah, or some
The CFIB guy?
yeah, maybe that.
That's a Canadian Federation of Independent Business or whatever.
Yeah, that one, that one.
Yeah, yeah. So they're they petition the government on our behalf
Oh, I
as
see.
business owners, right? And they would really like to count on our support because they do a lot about, I don't know. He started fucking going through all this stuff. I'm sure he's gonna call me within the next couple of weeks now that you mention it. He's gonna want his other $400 or whatever it is, and for whatever the fuck they do for me, I don't know. But I'll send him your way.
No, I'm good.
But he does so much for us, Mike.
Yeah. One thing I want more of in 2026 is Chad printer stories.
Oh, fuck me running. Can you see it in the back there?
No, it's blurred out.
Yeah, that's for the best. I and I've been told by multiple people that this is the printer to get. But it's
Really?
only whenever I started talking shit about the printer that 50 more people messaged me saying that printer is such a piece of shit. Why the fuck did you buy it? Like,
Oh man.
well, you never told me that whenever I asked for printer recommendations. Like, he won't even take the fucking paper, man. I spent
So
$100 on rolls of paper. I have three other fucking rolls of 200-foot paper, whatever it is, 24-inch paper that won't are useless because that machine is going back to Amazon.
you didn't break it in the process of getting frustrated
I was very close. I'm like, I'm gonna just take a video of me running this thing over with the loader.
at?
It would be more valuable that way than the $1,000 I spent on the thing.
Wow.
And I went on Amazon to find out how to fucking return this thing. They're like, if we credit you $290, do you want to keep it? Like, it's not even fucking worth it to keep it. For what? So I can be fucking more frustrated? And there's no way, there's no troubleshooting online to get you to. It's like just feed the paper like this, and you're doing it, and it's just fucking crumpling up inside. My fucking brain is starting to fry. I'm just like, this is the biggest piece of shit I've ever bought. I don't have time, and people are like, "Oh, you need an office assistant." No, great. So they can get pissed off at this fucking printer. Like, this thing is just a piece of shit. So
Were you only buying the printer for convenience?
yes, isn't that why we buy most things?
Well, I don't know, because like we get drawings printed and it costs like $8.
Yeah, fine. And then I have to go to FedEx or
That's what
wherever,
I was saying.
you
Yeah,
know.
like yeah.
Yeah, so
I
you send them the drawing, then they, oh, what size do you want it? I said, I don't know, print it at scale, whatever. Okay, pick it up. Then nobody picks it up, or you send them. So it costs $8, sure, if I pick it up, maybe, but the workers pick it up, and that takes them for some reason two guys in a truck for an hour. So there's $100 to pick up the drawings. So it would be nice to have a set right here. Yeah, I'll go print you a set at home in the office. But apparently that's not a fucking option now because the thing won't even take the paper. What a piece of shit. My God.
maybe you bought the wrong paper.
No, it's the right paper. I checked. Everybody who bought this printer bought that paper.
Maybe you just need to exchange it.
The printer?
Yeah.
I don't have time in my life to fucking go through this again.
Make for good content.
Yeah, it did get a lot of traction actually.
Did it?
He's like, that's awesome. Some guy said he was listening to the video and his wife heard it and she thought that her husband was the one. She's like, you act like that. So landscapers must act alike whenever shit goes wrong.
I did discover something, guys. We do have a problem. You guys want to see it?